Yo, what's up, everybody watching at home right now? My name is Crim, also known as the Asian Avenger, and I'm here this week to talk to you about
the best anime music ever that
is totally not overdone. And you know what? It doesn't matter. Here are my picks for the best anime songs that are around. And of course, as always, these things are obviously objective, not subjective. So it's always fact what I say. And clearly that's just the truth. But if, let's just say in the off chance you disagree with me, let me know in the comments, or let me know if there's any that you personally really like that I left off here. But so we're going to go right into it. And this one is a little bit of a new one. It's so new, I don't even know if you've seen the anime yet, but if you've been listening to the podcast, which if you haven't, you should change that. But if you have, then you'll know I love Sunny Boy. So naturally, with Sunny Boy being mentioned, what about that outro? I mean, it's got that classic, fully coolly kind of like, you know, the pop punk vibes and everything that you could ask for. I think it's everything that you like. It's weird to describe it, but the song is the only thing that made sense, or that I could make sense of Sunny Boy, at least the first time through. Now, I didn't think much of it, but like this is one of those things where the song perfectly actually helps explain the anime at points. Now, if you watch the anime, then you'll kind of like, and then you watch it and then read the lyrics to the song. They go hand in hand. It really didn't make sense to me at first, and you know, not much of it did. But the only thing that made sense to me was this song. And then after finishing it all the way through, I realized, holy cow, this song is amazing, and it perfectly depicts everything going on. And on top of that, it's really captured that early 2000s punk rock vibe. The vocals are there, everything's there for me. And really, it's simple. It's nothing wild. It's not like there's like 10,000 guitar solos. There's no symphony behind it. It's just well-written, good pop punk rock. So just really enjoyable and reminiscent of the early 2000s and nostalgic. So maybe that's a big part of why I love it. But for me, this has just been one of the best openers as of recent. Actually, we'll go into that as the list progress. So yeah, that's number 15 for me. Of course, that was once again Shounen Shoujo by the Ning Boys. And I'm gonna probably butcher a lot of the names here, but yeah, like that's one of my favorites. Or not Ning, it's Ging Boys, but yeah, okay, whatever. Editor, make me sound better or not as dumb, which is not possible. So with that, number 14, okay, this one is also kind of new. And this is what I mean, like a lot of the newer songs that have come out recently are actually a lot better than you would give them credit for, right? Like these are some of these songs are absolutely fire. And I mean, this isn't a pun because, you know, the next song, but the thing here is like a lot of the new openings and a lot of the outros and just the music throughout a lot of anime so far and a lot recently has been amazing. Season after season, we have tons of bangers. And this is one of the ones that's actually underrated. Dare I use the cursed word underrated in the world of anime? And I do apologize. No, I don't. But the thing here is this song gets a lot of negative feedback because people felt like it didn't make sense or it didn't fit. But what it is it's Mayday, Fire Force's second opener. Oh, yeah. Okay, so without going over any copyright laws and all of that, that is an amazing song, and it's severely underrated, as I said earlier. Now, the reasoning why I feel that way is because, first off, this song lyrically fits. Now, if you think about everything about the precinct, right, and everything about their precinct in 8, it's exactly what, they're all about lyrically. Like, I mean, first off, we have like the holy church. They're like overthrowing that. They're defiant against it. They don't go against the normal rules and on practices over like compared to all the other precincts. And there's just something special about them. So lyrically, it makes sense. It's going against the grain, and it's just also not common that not saying that it hasn't been done before, but it's very rare to have an English song as the opener, especially of a main title or a bigger title. Now, whether or not you like Fire Force or not, I think that it's always cool to see, like, you know, because like anime intros have always danced around heavier music. It's gotten close, but it's, you know, like, but there's not a ton of it, right? But with this is full on like, yo, I would rate this song like 5 out of 5 spin kicks. Let's go with that. Just because of the moshing and all of that and the headbang, it all goes well together, and lyrically it fits. So I stand by this, and this is gonna get me a lot of hot water. Actually, a lot of things get me in a lot of hot water, but this one specifically, I stand by it. It's cool to see anime, and also just like just any kind of mainstream television or media bring in screamo, metal, or anything like that. And once again, to clarify, YouTube people watching, yes, it's been done before, but it's just rare. And this version is full-on spin kick. All right, that was number 14 in Mayday, Fire Force's second opener. Not even the first one, by the way. But yes, so the next song, number 13, this one's gonna go back. It's gonna go back a little bit to like 2000, maybe? I don't even remember when, but it's Chobits' intro. Okay, anyways, before I dance too much there, dude, that song is, okay, Let Me Be With You, a classic opener from a classic anime. I swear, like, I'm pretty sure everyone that's my age now, like 30 or so, this song, like, helped, this show, along with Love Hina, pretty much gave every middle school boy in like 2000 an idea that like, hey, you might be going through puberty, or at least it let me figure out that maybe I like waifus. This is like an amazing song. It's beautifully, the bass line is funky, and it's not as in your face as most anime intros are. You know, the upbeat, you know, punch you in the face, aggressive guitars, distortion, super powerful vocals, none of that. This is just very simple, funky, poppy, and just feel good. Like, you just have that warm feeling inside, and you know, like, and this is regardless of when you watch it. Like, you don't even have to watch Chobits to know this song, but like, it's just such a feel good song. And it's the perfect thing when you pair it with something that's like this romance that is Chobits, right? Like, so this is just a feel-good song that I can't reiterate enough. And it's just, oh, it's so catchy. Every time I hear it, it's just in my head for the next, like, year or so. So it's just always in my head. It's a very, very catchy song. And, you know, go ahead, just listen to it once through and then let me know if it doesn't stick. All right. 13, you already know, was very, very catchy. Oh man, it's in my head now, actually. Well, we'll try to see if we can kind of wash it away with a catchier song, or one that I have found, once again, as I had mentioned, in recent years, musically, a lot of animes have been killing it. And this is no different here. And whether or not you like the show, the title is misleading. It's Rent-a-Girlfriend. Yes, everybody knows Rent-a-Girlfriend, right? Whether you love it or hate it, the intro is catchy. This is beautiful, right? Like, the vocals, the melody, it's all there. It's everything you could want from a pop song, right? And it's perfect, once again, for a romance-style anime. It's got, you get the classics, you get to see the main character, they're always just running, by the way. Main characters they have the most hardcore cardio diet and like workouts because they're always running in every intro, especially in romance ones. And of course you get to see all the best girls, all the waifus, you get to see all the love interests. But most importantly, the Peggies are a wonderful band. I love the Peggies normally, and on top of that, the Peggies in an anime is even better. The vocals are just perfectly cutesy and what I want for a romance anime. And I just think that the hooks are so well written here. I don't know how many producers worked on the song. Could be like maybe 40,000 different producers, but regardless, they nailed it. The hook of the chorus just stays in your head. And to be honest with you, this song and Let Me Be With You are kind of neck and neck. Like, you could convince me to move this down one and then Chobits' Let Me Be With You up one. However, yeah, like there's more lyrics here, but Chobits is easier to like stay in your head because there's just like 2 lines, right? Like, let me be with you and yeah. But this song has the instrumentals that go behind it that makes a good pop punk, like a pop song. Not even pop punk, I mean pop rock. So it's just solid all around and really kind of, I would say, overlooked. It's popular, but I feel like this is one of the poppiest and one of the catchiest songs to have come out in pretty much 5 ever. So yeah, definitely worth a listen to and just enjoyable. The Peggies on their own. Check them out. Now that you've probably checked out the Peggies because you're like, damn, that song is stuck in my head, and the Chobits intro, this is another anime that I feel like if more people watched it, this intro would be bigger. But if you know, you know. If you know, you know, and you're in the know. Asobi Asobase, the show about a bunch of schoolgirls just doing after-school activities and hanging out, right? Opening intro, super cutesy. No, we're not talking about the intro. Tons of cutesy anime intros exist, and a lot are even catchier. But the outro, now, I liked Mayday, right? The second Fire Force opener. So I had to bring in Inkya Impulse. This outro is so heavy. The lyrics make 0 sense. I have no idea what's going on in this song. But I know visually the outro video, perfect. And I just love watching their extreme faces. And the constant, the shift from this happy-go-lucky show to just pure death metal. And the coolest thing, obviously the breakdown, but on top of that, all the voice actresses are here singing. And that's super rad that they got all the voice actresses singing for this death metal outro. It's got that, what is it, baby metal or whatever, they're called. They've got that vibe, and that's awesome. So number 11, it's weird. Speaking of tonal shifts, I'm bouncing between poppy songs and just randomly super heavy songs. But I think this is once again going down the line of anime music that I really appreciate specifically because not many animes do this. They don't take the chance of adding something heavier, like really, really heavy. They do exist, like Death Note exists, all the outros and like that exists, but this is full on death metal. Listen to the guitars. The guitars are drop A or something like that. Not that you ever really need a guitar to get to drop A, and for those that don't know what drop A means, I'm speaking gibberish, don't worry. But the rattle on the strings and how loose these strings must be are absurd. That's how they have some of these low tones. I don't know. It is so cool to hear just such a heavy song sung by the voice actors of the show. And it's nonsense. It's pure nonsense. I have read the lyrics. If somebody knows at home watching this right now and has an idea of what they're singing about, please enlighten me, because I've looked over the English translations. None of it makes sense. Inkya Impulse, though, doesn't need to make sense because it's heavy and it's really odd and just how good. I jokingly listened to it, and then I just couldn't stop. And once again, that outro video, unless you're epileptic, I have to give you that warning right now, that content warning. If you're not a fan of a bunch of flashing lights and colors, maybe you shouldn't watch the outro. But if you're okay with it, It's one of the absolute weirdest photos, and it's why you love the anime. It pairs so well with the vibe, like the way the show works. It's such a trolly outro, and the show itself is trolly. Obviously, the butler is hilarious, but it's such a departure from the opener. And that is like, and it shows you how the show constantly bounces up, like, you know, back and forth between tonal shifts and, like, you know, like the random moods. And the outro video capitalizes on our favorite thing from Asobi Asobase, which is the absurd facial expressions. And that is exactly why I love this. It's so, it pairs so well with the anime. I love it. I love it. All right, so that is currently number 11. Now we're cracking into the top 10. And now we're cracking in the top 10. So, now that we're closing in, there are songs on here where, you know, you may have heard of the anime and you may not like it. But the one that you can't deny is how good these songs are. And one of those has to be Haruka Kanata. Now, I'm obviously going to butcher the pronunciations of this, and I do apologize. But if you've watched Naruto, it's the opener. Like, I think one of my favorite things about this is that vocally, the singer, you hear the intensity of his voice as his vocals are kind of like fried as he screeches his way through the song. And on top of that, like, it just perfectly lines up with Naruto's punch as his voice is like kind of dying out and like giving up. But at the same time, he goes right back into it. So vocally, I think the intensity of the singing is what drives this song and what gives it so much oomph and so much lasting. It's able to be re-listened to numerous numbers of, like, just multiple times because of how sweet the vocals are. If I actually knew how to, like, pronounce half the words in Japanese, I would try to sing this song. Now, I believe Xell actually can sing this song. So I just like playing along with it. And I really enjoy the chorus of it, and it sticks. It hits. It's got that aggressive, you know, shonen vibe that you want from an opener that gets you invested in the characters, right? You get, of course, all the really cool back-to-back poses, you know, every cheesy back-to-back action shot that you could ask for, yes. But most importantly, it shows you all the characters. It gives you a good idea of what the show's about if you hadn't already figured it out by then. Just the singing and the instrumentals, and once again, the singing nails it and drives it home for me. So easily a top 10, probably one of the most iconic songs for me, at least, from Naruto. So yeah, that's number 10. Number 9. All right. Number 9. Yeah. Okay, they can't all just be upbeat, right? I mean, sure they could, but I have, like, if you couldn't tell, like, yes, of course, Crim likes all the upbeat punk rocky songs, surprise to nobody, right? Or the heavy songs. And of course, the sap in me loves all the cheesy love songs and the cutesy songs, right? But sometimes you just gotta sulk in your feels. And I think one of the best songs coming at number 9 from an anime has to be The Real Folk Blues. Now, if you don't know who like the song "The Real Folk Blues," then it's from Cowboy Bebop. It's the ending song, and tell me what's more perfect than seeing Spike Spiegel sit on the steps, rain, black and white with a tint of blue. Like, it's the most Spike Spiegel thing you could ask for as he sits there and just kind of broods and, like, I don't know, whatever Spike does. He's definitely smoking a cigarette at least, but. A show about, like, that is heavily focused around music has to have a good opener and a good ender, and this is it. Like, it hits you, it stays in your feels, it's got a powerful chorus, it's like the perfect rock ballad, but anime, if that makes sense. So yeah, you've got your anime rock ballad chorus, you've got the driving, like, not the driving, but the moving verses, And then that's not even to compliment, like that's not even enough praise, because then the song brings in the, like, you know, all the horns, all the fancy, like, you know, trumpets and all that stuff. It's just a well put together song that perfectly captures the mood of like what Spike is and the show has to offer, and just seeing it all in black and white with the, like that hint of blue, you know, a little bit of the red rose as it kind of like, as this, like, you know, the credits roll. It's just iconic for me, and I think it's one of the best songs that you could ask for a closer. It really does feel like the end of an episode, the end of, like, you know, a show. Every time it just felt like an end. Whereas, like, you know, like, it's hard to explain other than, like, it just felt like the episode, the show has resolved because of the song. And I think that's why I really like it. A lot of anime openers have this, or closers have this thing where it still feels like there's, hey, see you next week vibe to it, right? But this felt like it just ends. And that is why it hits even more. So it had to be number 9 for me. Coming in at number 8. Okay, we just had the slow song, so naturally, yours truly is gonna pick it back up. And because, well, the song is just also a banger and has really cool guitar work, and I love catchy guitar work. It's, of course, Kuroko's Basketball, you know, whatever you want to call it. The English title, Kuroko no Basket, the Japanese title. So, Other Self, just a wonderful opener, because I feel like it has, this is the intensity I want, right, from a sports anime. It's the, like, exactly what you ask for. It's got that driving feeling, like you're moving the ball across the court, and then, you know, you've got, it perfectly showcases the main cast. It's got all the dunks, the absurd abilities, and the guitar line is this weird Power Rangers vibe. Like, it's very Dragon Force-like, and because of that, it matches the kind of over-the-top absurdity that is the show. Whether it's Kuroko's, like, laser beam passes, which actually just have a laser beam, or all the other random abilities that exist in the show that are too much to even go over, and that's a whole topic in itself. But it definitely gives me that, like, sports anime vibe that I really like, and it's the reason why I pick a lot of these songs is because it lines up perfectly with what the anime is about, either lyrically, tonally, something along those lines, or some mixture of both. And this song is no different. Other Self really has some standout guitar work. So for me, I'm a sucker for that. This has got to be one of my all-time favorites. And holy cow, a good amount of these songs are from like 2010 plus, right? So I just can't believe how much good music has been in anime. As somebody who loves listening to music all day long, I've always got some sort of music playing somewhere. This is just, it's so awesome to see anime picking it up and just making it so I don't feel miserable, because I don't like, normally I used to not like watching anime intros and outros unless the song was good. So that is number 8, but that means now we've got number 7. And now we've got number 7. Well, if you've watched the podcast or listened to the podcast or just generally interacted with me in any way, shape, or form, there's an anime that recently came out that you might have heard of too. It's Jujutsu Kaisen. Yes, I know. But the opener, Kaikai Kitan, I probably butchered the name, but like, this song is totally new for me. I'm not a fan of the normal, like, the over-processed vocals. That's why I didn't like Parasite Maxim's intro. Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. A good amount of their songs, there's a lot of weird vocal work, and I know that a lot of you might like it, but for me, I've always thought of it as too much. But Jujutsu Kaisen's opener is perfect. Like, the vocal work, though it's like heavily processed, it works. And the song gradually builds, and it shows you everything you need to see from the characters. You get to see, obviously, Nobara, you get to see Gojo, and you get to see the powers. So it's exactly what I want out of an opener. And on top of that, musically, it's just so damn driving. And as the chorus and the song continues to pick up, you know, they start layering other things production-wise. Whether it's subtle keyboards, subtle instruments, subtle minor tweaks from the to the vocals, it's brilliant. It's brilliant. I love it. I think this is, it's really a weird thing for me to say, because at first I was like, this kind of sounds like it sucks. I don't like this vocal work. Then I just kept listening to it, and it's like, but then I really started to appreciate it. And I mean, I've done it before. I've tried to give other older, other anime intros, like re-listens, the ones that I didn't like, and I just never stuck. But Jujutsu Kaisen's works, and I think a lot of it comes in from the production side of it, because they beautifully layer everything on. And they perfectly tuned all the auto-tune, the processed vocals to a level that isn't absurd. So it doesn't sound like, you're just a robot or anything like that. And it still has the natural the singer's natural vocal work there. And I love the melody of the chords. Just na 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 na, like that. Beautiful. And the guitar work. Dun 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 dun. Everything well put together, well written. A+. Wow. Anime is killing it in music currently. And I've watched a lot of anime, so this is really cool. And as somebody who loves music, to see music slaying it. So that's number 7, which means we're almost in our top 5. But yeah, before we get to that, let's get to number 6. So yeah, number 6. This song is also just when a chorus melody hits, and it hits, like you can tell the writers worked on it. It feels good. And I have to say, Noragami Arigato's got one of the most powerful choruses. And of course, Hey Kids, right? The opening theme, it's so good. I'm so jealous. I wish I could be that bridge that Bishamon hits, because I love her. But the thing here is, that's a whole nother topic. The chorus, the melodies, obviously I can't sing it as high as he does off the top of my head, because I don't know the vocals, but I know the lyrics because I read them translated, and they're also great. But vocally, God, I love that slight falsetto of the vocals and just everything about it. And the upbeat guitars. If you couldn't tell, if it's upbeat J-rock, which we don't have a lot of in the mainstream. I think that's why it's so refreshing. It's a lot more like beats, hip hop, stuff like that. Not that there's a problem with that, but for me, I just have a preference, right? And to be honest with you, it's nice to hear anime still holding it down, still giving me that aggressive guitar work, not fully electronic. Not that I do love my electronic songs, but I have an even bigger soft spot for just straight up aggressive guitars. And the tones of the guitars here, the distortion they're using, I love it. It's perfect because, you would normally, it leans a little bit on the heavier side, but it's not like a fuzz factory or, any kind of fuzz pedals or anything like that. It's just distorted, but chunky, thick, but not too thick to where you can't tell the difference between the notes and the progressions of the chords, which, by the way, is one of the most annoying things about people who use too much distortion, because then I have no idea what's going on. And the one thing I've loved about a lot of anime music is that they're able to perfectly capture the ability to have you understand or know when the chords change and still be heavily distorted. So beautiful production, A+. Noragami is no different. Hey Kids is just, oh man, that chorus hits. So number 6, but now the big 5. The big 5. Okay, not the sporting goods store. This one, I can't believe it. A song that came out in 2019. So at the time of filming, this is 2021, 2 years ago. This is very recent too. And holy cow, we already had a song from the show. We had Mayday from Fire Force, so we had to have Inferno, right? There's no way you don't have Inferno. Mrs. Green Apple, oh my god, dude. They blend electronic, just random electronic parts and just little sound clips and just very electronic-y sounds and whatnot, and fuse it into the song, perfectly meshing it into this punk rock vibe, right? And it works. That second verse, they change it up too. And the first verse of the song is just, your aggressive punk rock with pop, and like all of the things that you would love. But then the second verse, they change it up. They throw in the electronic parts, which you just wouldn't normally think to do in like these kind of songs. And it's nice to have. And then I think the glue that holds this all together is the vocals. Obviously, it's great watching them jump and dive out of their, their dispatch truck and, they're taking their calls, doing all the things and hell yeah. Okay, that's all great. But the vocals are what cement this song. The dude hits the sickest, absolute sweetest high notes, especially on the outro, where I'm not even gonna try to recreate. Okay, you know what? I'm sorry, everybody. I can't do it. It's such a high note, but it's so good. And even if it's auto-tuned, it's beautifully auto-tuned to where it doesn't sound like it's just like crackling, and the auto-tune is like the pitches aren't perfectly. It feels like the pitches are perfectly mixed. And I love that. And they're tuned perfectly. If you were to look at the sound waves, it's just one perfect curve. Oh, man, it's so nice. But yes, so I think this song, like, holy cow, let's go dunk some infernals. I'm down. Get me in this, in this anime. And it pulls you right in at the opener. That's how I got into the show. When I first heard the show, or first heard the opener, I knew I loved the show. Just from that on its own, because it punches you right in the mouth with that aggressive punk rock vibe, but also hits you with the poppy things that you would ask for so that it stays in your head. And that is a perfect opener for an anime, right? Like this is it. All the others before this are obviously powerhouses, and there still are tons of great anime openers, but this one pulls you right by the collar line and then just never lets go. The song is just one heck of a ride. Actually, there's no down point. It's just up and up and up and up and just nothing but energy. God, I love it. So number 5 has to be Inferno. Okay, number 4. After the thrilling ride that is Inferno, now I know it's the fun thing to do, right? To hate on popular animes and, oh, you still watch that? Or especially, in the anime community, oh, it's cool to hate the popular titles. But you know what? I'm going to be honest with you. There's a reason some of these songs and these openers stay around from popular animes. It's because, well, it turns out they might just be good. But for some odd reason, if you haven't heard of this anime and you've been on that same island that Jared Leto was on, because apparently that dude was on an island and didn't even know there was an outbreak or a pandemic going on, it's Demon Slayer. Yes, to nobody's surprise, it's Demon Slayer. Can you guess the song? If you can't, I'll help you. Okay. So the song is called, okay, I'm going to butcher this, so please forgive me. Is it Gurenge? It's Lisa. At this point, Lisa is the queen of anime, right? She's the queen of anime openers. She's had Sword Art. She's had all these openers. She's also just a very good vocalist. Like, her vocal range is absurd. And I think it cuts through in this song, right? Brendan Urie, the singer, says that she's got the vocal range of Hayley Williams of Paramore, and it's there. You hear it. Her vocal range is absurd. And it's not like it's auto-tuned or anything like that. She just nailed her craft. I mean, you watch her live videos, and it's just like, wow, Lisa, you are legit the queen of anime openers. You never have to worry about it. Honestly, if they gave Lisa every anime and just told her to just make an opening for every one of them, I'm sure they're all bangers, because, dude, she slays it. And then not only are her vocals powerful, moving, the lyrics are beautiful. The lyrics are exactly what you would expect from Tanjiro's point of view. It's got a lot of what the Demon Slayers are all about, and most importantly, it's backed behind some really powerful instruments. The bass right before they go into the chorus, right? The bass is well written. Holy cow, that bass line is clean. That bass line is so complicated, but I love it. And at the speed it's played at, I don't care if it's sped up through production or whatnot, but the fact that it's there, it's so beautifully placed and within time that I love everything about it. And then there's all the wonderful heavy guitars that you come to expect from anime. There's all the heavy guitars you could ask for. The beautiful distortion backed by just the wonderful, wonderful band. So it's got the rock ballad, the sad rock ballad vibe as the opener, and then it has that hard-hitting chorus and the beautiful range of Lisa. So you know it's got to be a number 4. And this isn't something that's going to change over time. This song specifically will be iconic and will stay around. Gurenge is one of the best anime intros that you could ask for. That's why it's number 4. So you're like, damn, son. Well, that's number 4. What's left? Actually, not as many new ones. So the next batch, the top 3, my top 3. Oh boy, my top 3. Okay, so here we go. I like rock music. We can probably figure that out by now with my totally unbiased and obviously objective opinions that this is totally 100% fact. But I like rock music, and you figured that out by now. What is one of my favorite animes that has to do with rock music in a band and the band making it, getting big, and all of that, and trying to find success outside of just their hometown? Naturally, it's gotta be Beck, Mongolian Chop Squad. But which song? Because there are so many songs throughout the show. Not just the opener, like there's all throughout the show, whether it's Follow Me and all of that. I got the name of the song wrong but this is the song, but now that I finally have the correct name of it, and I know what I'm thinking of here, it's from Beck Mongolian Chop Squad, and the song is called Love Dischord. If you don't remember, it's from when Kyoto performs at the school talent show and wins the Best Guitarist Award. Like, that chorus is perfect, and it's got such a, it nails the vibe, right? Like, it still feels like, if I could describe it, and just the feeling I get when I hear it, it's like being in middle school again, and then, or just like remembering your youth and just being in youth, right? And like, just like fully, there's still so much for you to explore and see out there in the world. And I feel like the song perfectly nails that vibe, and it hits me right here, and I love it. Because, I mean, the chorus is catchy. Obviously, watching the performance at Battle of the Bands, like, you know, you hate the guy Kyoto, but because he's kind of a bully, he totally is kind of scheming and pretty much an all-around grade A, you know, butthole. But his abilities on guitar are just so solid, and you kind of want to like the guy, and they kind of make you do a little bit. And this is a good point for him, right? Like, you get to see how good he is. You know, you understand that he's the son of a really famous musician. And yeah, just the chorus is so damn catchy. So sweet that I kill you, so sweet, and I'll kill them all. Like, okay, obviously the lyrics are a little bit darker than what you would want, but like melodically, it's perfect. As I said, it captures the early 2000s vibe. And it's the punk rock that I like. It's in the anime, you have the guitar solo. In the normal song, you don't. Which, by the way, it's if for those that don't know, the original song is by Beat Crusaders. And yeah, like, the original song doesn't have it, but if you watch and you listen to the anime version, you do get the guitar solo that's super gnarly. It's kind of like cheesy 80s guitar solos now, but, you know, whatever. It's fine. It's still really catchy. So, number 3, that song nails it for me. But okay, so talking about songs that perfectly capture, you know, the idea of youth and the sense of adventure that you have as a kid, you know, or the sense of adventures you have now if you're young now, right? There's the rest of the world. There's still all of just everything else left in life for you to explore. So if that's the case, right, if that's my number 3, then you know my number 2 is going to be in the same vein. It's from Fully Cooley. That's right. And do you know what song it is? Of course you know what song it is, because it's got one of the most iconic guitar lines. It's Ride on Shooting Star. You know the song. It's by The Pillows. It's perfect, right? Like, it's right? Like, that's all you need to hear, and you know where we're going. Obviously, the anime itself, a coming-of-age anime, has a song that is just absolutely nails that vibe, right? Like, I just feel like listening to this song I just want to explore. I still have so much to see in the world, and it nails that. It nails that for me, and that's why this is so high up here, because it's also got that punk rock vibe that I love. It's got the pop rock vibe, like the pop rock that's there for me, and then it's got the sense of adventure. It's got the melodies. It's got a solid, very catchy guitar lead, kind of simple, but dang, I'm jealous I never wrote it myself, because it's awesome. It's just, it sticks. Once again, like, we know that rhythm, we know that lead. That's forever. And this song, as long as, you know, I guess us anime boomers are around, that song will stay around. This is just iconic pop rock, early 2000s. This is everything that screams early 2000s, along with Beck. So, love these two. They had to go together. Absolutely my favorite. But that's my number 2. So that means we're down to the last one. What is my number 1? What is my number 1? Well, my number 1 has to be the most feel-good song of them all. The best anime intro. Undisputedly. The number 1. I won't draw it out anymore. And I might be a fanboy. I might even be wearing a shirt from the show. That's right. It's Yu Yu Hakusho. I know. Wow. Okay. Tell me that Smile Bomb is not... This is one of the shows where the English dubs are really good. And the song in English is so good. Like, it's such a feel-good song, and it showcases all of our favorite characters. You get to see Yusuke doing his spirit gun, and of course, you know, Kuwabara gets to cut some people up because, you know, he has a sword. And Hiei, Kurama, everybody, they're all there. You even get to see Genkai, and the gang's all there, and it perfectly syncs up. You know, the line in the English version of Smile Bomb is that, you know, getting love from people that they hardly even know, and it captures how, like, you know, the show, they became, you know, Yusuke makes friends with people. You know, he starts off as this outsider, has no friends, maybe just one person in his life, but he slowly picks up more and more people, literally people that are from different dimensions, and then, wow, lyrically from the English Smile Bomb, I listen to that, and it makes me, first off, feel old as hell, because this song and this whole show is old as hell, but more importantly, damn, it does make me feel exactly just like, it's this bittersweet feeling that, like, yeah, now I'm at the age that I'm older, but when I was younger, that, like, I can't wait to see what I would become, right? I can't wait to see the person I become. And there's just this hopefulness that is just there. And it's not like the aggressive guitar. It's actually very funky. The bass line pops. The guitar tones are clean. Like, the clean on the guitar here is, I don't know how you get that, and I don't even know what kind of guitar that's on, but it is perfect. It is so clean, and it pops just like the bass does. And it's funky, it's groovy. The vocal melody is exactly just enough to stick in your head, and it's driving, and the vocals are obviously very good. And of course, there's the original, the one that's sung in Japanese, that's also really good. But like, the English one just hits different for me. And once again, those lyrics, everything about it, just, you could still apply it to now. Like, even when I'm 30, I can apply it to, like, just being hopeful to see what my next 10 years are. And I think this is why this song is so amazing to me, and it's my number 1, is because the constant, just its ability to constantly apply itself to every phase of my life, to constantly just have me excited for the next adventure, which is what every shonen anime wants for, like, you know, like the opener, right? And the song nails it for me. I'm ready for the next adventure. So that is my number 1. Yes, I'm a fanboy, wearing my Yu Yu Hakusho shirt, putting Yu Yu Hakusho's Smile Bomb at number 1. Now, of course, you may be wondering, yo, Crim, I know you love Evangelion, and I know you have bad taste, but you can't have that bad of taste. So where is Evangelion's opener? That song is Hall of Famed at this point now, right? Like, I feel like that song is Hall of Famed. You don't need to mention it in content, because it's, like, implied, right? It's like, oh, well, everybody knows that an Angel's Cruel Thesis is the perfect anime intro, and like in whether it's in epicness, catchiness, everything, it nails it. And it's hard to like really compare that because then it's just always going to be an auto include on every list. So I've Hall of Famed it. Yes, that song and that whole show has nothing but amazing music. So yes, still check out all the Evangelion music. But for me, I'm going to leave that off because I don't think anybody else needs to. I'm sure everybody knows about it. So thank you so much for watching my top anime songs, whether it's just an opener, an outro, or just anywhere in the show in general. Let me know what you think of my list. I know that a good chunk of it are newer animes, but tell me if you share the same feelings about how new music in anime is just absolutely killing it. Like, seriously, new music in anime is just, it's, wow. Just like how we're getting really good anime every season now, we're also getting really good songs and music to go with it. And I'm glad that the industry is realizing that music is just as important as the show, show's story, as the cinematography, because it drives scenes. And it's a big part of what can get somebody hooked, especially if they're musically, if they're all about music. And that's me. So love it or hate it. Let me know what you think of my list. Feel free to leave a comment. Share it, spread it amongst your friends. Be like, yo, this guy thinks he knows what he's talking about. Tell him why he's wrong. Feel free to tell me why I'm wrong, but do it in the comment section. And of course, if you haven't done so yet, follow us on Twitter, Nii-San Podcast. And then lastly, you can find me at The Asian Avenger. And then, there are other Nii-Sans here, as in Xell. You can follow him at Xell Tweets and all of that too. So, and of course, thank you to our wonderful, wonderful editor, our Nii-San behind the scenes, Don. Don, this is Don. Wherever you put your picture, there it is. That's Don. So yeah, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. And feel free to continue to share with your friends. Leave a like, a sub. Of course, hit the bell icon to be notified when a brand new video goes live. Yada, yada, yada. You know the call to action. All right. Love you, everybody. I'll see you at the next one.